Spider-Man 2. I don't think it's any exaggeration to say that 2004's Spider-Man 2 was, at the time, the game every fan of the webhead had dreamed of. That it was a movie tie-in and ended up as incredible as it did still blows my mind, to be honest, especially given how Spider-Man 3 turned out.
I'm going to die.
For the first time ever, we were given the chance to live out the full Spider-Man experience. Everything we'd ever wanted to do as the webhead was finally available to us. We could swing through the air of an open world New York City, swoop down to stop criminals before leaping away again and, delivering pizza. Okay, the pizza minigame was not exactly part of my definitive Spider-Man dream, but I sure did love that music. Spider-Man. Oh, to be 7 years old and playing Spider-Man on the PlayStation again. Video games have obviously come a long way in the last 2 decades, but I'll never forget being able to explore old Webhead's world in 3D for the first time. This one really did have it all. A massive cast of villains, cameos from the likes of Daredevil, Punisher and Captain America, and a brilliant sense of humour. It wasn't exactly the most serious game around, but I'll always love its light-hearted tone and massive amount of hidden secrets and Easter eggs for Marvel fans. This was a game made by Spidey fans for Spidey fans with some terrific moments. Fighting Venom, rescuing hostages from bank robbers, and running through an exploding underwater base while pursued by a monstrous fusion of Carnage and Dr. Octopus. Yeah, Spider-Man was definitely a game that didn't give me nightmares that still wake me up at 4 AM in a cold sweat. Good times. Ultimate Spider-Man. There's a lot of love out there for Spider-Man 2, and rightly so, but for the longest time Ultimate Spider-Man was my all-time favourite video game adventure starring the webhead. We were once again given an open world New York to explore, but this time it was based on the critically acclaimed Ultimate Spider-Man series from Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley, which also happens to be one of my favourite comic book series ever. What's so perfect about Ultimate Spider-Man is that it absolutely nails the source material. The gorgeous cel-shaded visuals capture the essence of Bagley's art, while Bendis scripted the story and imbued the characters with that same sharp dialogue that made the book such a hit. It's as close to a living, breathing comic book as video games have ever gotten. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Before Into the Spider-Verse put multi-dimensional Spider-Man action on the big screen, we were treated to a very similar adventure in 2010's excellent Shattered Dimensions. This reality-bending adventure gave players 4 different Spider-Men to control. The amazing Spider-Man we all know and love, the futuristic Spider-Man 2099, the gritty noir Spidey, and the younger version of the character from the Ultimate Universe. Shattered Dimensions fully embraced the potential of these separate Spider-Men by giving us 4 entirely different gameplay experiences based on which version of the character we were playing as. For example, the noir levels were tense stealth challenges, while any action set in 2099's world was more focused on high-speed combat. As an added bonus for fans, each Spider-Man was voiced by an actor who'd played him in the past, including the excellent Josh Keaton and the charming Neil Patrick Harris himself. Marvel's Spider-Man. As far as I'm concerned, Marvel's Spider-Man is the single greatest adaptation of the character in any medium outside of the comic books. It takes a little something from every great take on the character. The father-son relationship between Pete and Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, the more likeable and independent Aunt May from Ultimate Spider-Man, and the older, more experienced Spidey that we're used to from the modern books. Insomniac Games mixes all of these elements together with a gorgeous open world and by far one of the best web swinging and traversal mechanics to date. There's a lot of dull open world busy work in this game, sure, but it feels like less of a chore when getting from A to B is so much fun. The perfect Spider-Man game? I guess you could argue that it's still to be made, but Marvel's Spider-Man is pretty damn close if you ask me.